You've been wasting your time by going about manifestation all wrong. People think manifestation is just about trying to attract certain events into their life, and they think that just by hoping, these things will just happen. Launching a successful business, meeting your dream girl, stumbling across that wealthy person who ends up mentoring you to the moon. Well, guess what? You can attract all of this and so much more, but there's a catch. You can't just hope and pray for these things. That will get you nowhere. What you need to do is become magnetic. Well, in this video, I'm going to teach you 2 habits that will be able to magnetize anything you want in your life directly to you. Let's go. The first habit is tactical selfishness. Yes, you heard me. You need to become more selfish, but in a very specific and tactical way. Let me explain. When you put other people first all the time, you suggest to those around you that your time is not valuable. And in fact, your time becomes not valuable. You need to get into the habit of qualifying every favor that you give out. When someone asks you,
"Hey, can you come help me write my paper?"
"Hey, can you come look at my business and give me some advice?"
you either say, "No, I don't have time right now," or "Yes, but I only have 20 minutes and then I have some stuff I gotta get back to." When you give one of these 2 answers, it does a couple of things for you. Firstly, it ensures that your time really remains yours. And second, it shows those around you that your time is important to you. From a metaphysical perspective, this allows more and more things to come directly to you because you spend more time in the trenches of your own battle. And from a personal perspective, this forces more people to be desperate for your attention and concentration because you've indicated how valuable that it is. In other words, people begin to crave validation from you. Now, tactical selfishness is so underrated, but it really can't do much without this second habit. Now, I'm gonna call this second habit playing angel's advocate. You've heard of devil's advocate, where you give an opposing argument to the one being presented for the sake of it. Well, in angel's advocate, you do the same thing, but it necessarily must come from an optimistic perspective. Again, let me explain. With most big things you go after, there will be challenges. There will be times where you want to just say, "F it," and turn back. When you do this, you end up giving in and losing your magnetism. The things that were coming to you, but were just out of your line of sight, lose their momentum and fall to the ground. When things get tough, Angel's Advocate forces you to examine the positive perspective of things. For example, maybe your failure taught you a huge lesson that will bring you success on the next attempt. Maybe this was just a big monster that was designed to scare you away from the finish line that you were just about to cross. Or maybe this was meant to happen so that you just slow down a bit and reconsider exactly how you should advance. But regardless, by forcing optimism back into your line of sight, you can maintain the magnetism that the tactical selfishness helps you create. On a personal note, it's actually funny how much changed for me in my own life when I started using these 2 habits. I mean, I honestly used to think that being selfish was a bad thing, and maybe that's because I was taught that in school or by my parents, I don't know. And on top of that, I used to actually be a really big pessimist whenever things would go wrong, and I would hide under the guise of just being a realist. But since I started protecting my attention by being tactically selfish, I've attracted so many good things into my life, like multiple 6 figures in income, an incredible woman, mentors in business, friends with hundreds of thousands of followers on social so they have an insane influence, and the list goes on. Oh, and since I started using Angel's Advocate, I know that I'm preventing all of the would-be losses that my pessimism would have created along the way. Look, manifestation is real, but it requires so much more than what people online make it sound like. It requires you to be magnetic. And you can only get there by having habits that not only ensure that you create the magnetism, but also keep it there as the things you attract move closer and closer and closer into your life. Now, thank you so much for watching. My name is Spencer with Must Become. Always remember that your potential is your obligation, and so what you can become, you must become.